my kitchen. And today I'm not even going to wear a fadale. Fadale in Italian means an apron. This is a super and easy this dish is. And this is going to be a meal prep, because there's a lot of you that work from home and you never know what you're going to make. And this, when you take your lunch hour, you can put this all together, and when you're ready to cook it, you put it at 400 degrees for 45 minutes, covered, and I'll show you. But let's not get there yet. So what I want to bring it to you are the ingredients. I have a beautiful sliced onion right here. For my family, I'm using 3 sliced potatoes. I also have I have about 6 carrots that I have sliced. We love carrots. I have 1 chopped tomato. I have 6 green onions that I just kind of cut them, big like that, because everything is going to be cooking. I also have 1 entire lemon. Yes, lemon. My grandmother always loved her lemon with her chicken. So this is also one of my grandmother's recipe. I also have a little bit of red pepper. A 1/4 cup of red pepper is over here. And also the start of our show is going to be fennel. I'm going to talk about fennel because a lot of people, they don't know how to cook with fennel. And fennel and chicken, they love each other. And I'm going to show you how to clean the fennel, what to do. Because I use everything organic, the fennels tend to be a little smaller, so I already have 1 cut up here. But I'm going to show you what to do. Actually, I had sliced it. I also have some olive oil, just keep it on the side. Another thing, let me tell you now what we're going to be utilizing as far as herbs, because we got to have herbs. But I'm going to tell you about that I'm going to be utilizing a tablespoon of granulated garlic, a tablespoon of salt, and a tablespoon of pepper. I have 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. And then for my fresh ingredients, that are my herbs, I'm utilizing only 1 leaf of cilantro. If you don't have cilantro, don't you worry about it. I have it, I'm going to use it. I also have I have quite a bit of thyme. I'm going to probably be utilizing 2 to 3 tablespoons of thyme, and also rosemary. And then of course I have my chicken. And what I do, guys, when I go to my butcher and I tell my butcher to cut my chicken, I want him to give me the backbone, okay? And then what I've done here is that I have the backbone with water, celery, and carrots, and I'm just going to let that cook, and that's how I make my stock, so you can utilize the entire chicken. So I'm going to move the chicken out of the way, and then what I'm going to do here, get yourself a nice, wonderful bacon pan, and then what I want to do here is I'm going to open this up. I'm going to add a good 2 tablespoons of olive oil, because this is what's going to cook everything for us. And then what I'm going to do is I want to shift it. I'm going to grab a paintbrush. Yes, a paintbrush. Paintbrushes, they work very, very well for this. And I just want to get my entire pan very lovely coated so nothing will stick. Because what we're going to do is, since we are prepping this wonderful, and this is going to be a nice baked chicken with the vegetables, and the vegetables, like I stated, we are using the potatoes, the carrots, the tomatoes, the green onions, and then of course the fennel. And it's so delicious because you can prep this now, put it in the refrigerator, okay? You're going to turn your oven to 400 degrees. You're going to take the pan out of the refrigerator 15 minutes prior to turning your pan on. Your oven on. When you turn your oven on is when you put the pan. So the pan will also heat with the rest of everything in there. So let me repeat that again. Take this out of the refrigerator 15 minutes prior to putting it in the oven. Turn your oven to 400 degrees, okay? And then you're going to put the pan in the oven. Don't wait until it comes to room temperature. Just put it all in there. And you're going to bake this at 45 degrees covered with foil. Then you're going to take the foil out, and then you're going to let it cook for another 15 minutes, and the chicken is going to get beautiful. All right, so then what I want to do now is I just want to keep this brush. I'm just going to put this brush, I'm just going to put it right over here where my chicken is, because I am going to be utilizing that brush with the chicken, and then you can wash the brush. All right, so now what I want to do to this wonderful concussion over here is I'm going to put this on the side. Get yourself a little bowl like this. Get your oregano, your 2 tablespoons of oregano, go right in there like so. The salt, the pepper, and the granulated garlic goes right in there like that. Very simple transaction. I'm just going to move my vegetables to the side so I can show you what we're going to do next. So then what I want to do now is I want to get my rosemary, because I do want the health benefits of rosemary. I'm not going to get into the health benefits of rosemary, guys, but I am going to get into the health benefits of fennel. Because, you know, we, in my family of origin, my Italian family, we always had fennel. We loved fennel. We would make them in salads, we would make them in desserts, we would make them in everything. So what I want to do is I want to use, you know, a good tablespoon of the rosemary, and I'm going to eye it. I'm not going to measure. You know, my grandmother never measured. But if you were to measure, it would be a tablespoon of thyme, a tablespoon of rosemary, and then, of course, the cilantro. If you don't have cilantro, like I said, don't worry about it. If you have cilantro, that would work. Parsley, if that's what you want to do. And I'm just going to, you see what I'm doing? I'm just going to bring it right over here like so. Okay, so I want to walk you step by step. Now you get your little thyme, and I'm just going to put the thyme right in there, just like that. Easy transaction. Very easy transaction. Very easy prep. This is a very easy prep, guys, especially for those that are working from home and those mommies that are working from home. And today I'm really busy. I have a lot of clients today, a lot of phone clients, because besides doing what I do, I also do some other things. As an ordained minister, as you all know, I am an ordained minister, and I marry couples and I baptize their babies, and I just absolutely love that. I love that. My grandmother always grew all of her herbs, a lot of their food, and I grew up, you know, I was growing our own food. And like I said, this is so easy that you could do it in your dress, you could do it in your suit. So, you know, if you are working from home and you have to have a suit on, you don't even have to take the jacket off or anything. So what I want to do now is I just want to keep the knife like this, okay? And then go ahead and just start chopping. Because what happens when you chop the herbs, you are releasing the oils. And this is such a nice, easy, wonderful chicken, big chicken. And you know, one thing that my family, every Sunday we would go to one, sometimes it wasn't every Sunday, it was like 2 to 3 Sundays a month we would go to my grandmother's house. And all my aunts would get together. My grandma had a real long kitchen. And all the girls would get together. All of my aunts would get together. And they loved to make this dish. They loved to make the chicken. And I would, you know, and I would watch what they would do. And they would always be chopping all of these wonderful herbs. And they would mix them with the dry herbs. Because, you know, my grandfather, and my grandmother would always dry their own herbs. And I dry my own herbs when you have a lot. So as you can see, we have quite a bit in here, but we have a lot to take care of over here. So I just want to make sure that I get all of these guys in here like that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it all with my hands. You know, this is playing with food. I love to play with food. I love to play with food because everybody's going to get this concussion, including the chicken. And the chicken right now is just hanging out, doing its thing. I'm not worried about it. I just took it out of the refrigerator, so it's coming to room temperature. And then it probably will, I'm going to cook mine early. So now let me bring you to the fennel. So the fennel has one of these little things over here. So it looks like this, okay? So what you want to do is you want to bring your knife and you want to cut right about here. You see that? Right about there, all right? And because I already have the palm fronds that I'm going to utilize, I am going to save all of this. Yes, I am not going to be using this part, but I like to save the palm, I call them palm fronds. I like to save them because I don't like to throw nothing away. My grandparents never did. So then I have already washed this very well. And then this guy is going to lay flat like that. Get your knife. Be careful. Start like so. And then I will go straight like that. You see that? Cut it in half. There's this little thing right over here. What I want to do is I want to get in there like that. Okay? It's actually like a pyramid. You see, it's like a pyramid. And just this comes right off. And look at that. Comes right off, but I want to make sure that I'm not throwing this part away because I want to use that part. I'm done with that. Let me show you the other one. Okay? Remember, we cut it in half. Okay? We get it in here. It's like a V. When you look at it, it has a V. And what it does, it removes all of this other stuff. Now, if you want to cut this little piece over here, you can. And I just want to utilize as much of the fennel as I can possibly can, because fennel, guys, it's rich on fiber. It's rich in fiber. It's loaded with vitamin C, vitamin B6, and vitamin A. It's rich in potassium, calcium. It's so wonderful for your health. And a lot of people, they don't really use fennel. So, you can cut them in slices. You can cut them any way. I'm just going to cut them like in big slices like so. Big slices like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the fennel right into my pan. I'm going to get that right into my pan. And what I mean the pan, I mean the bacon dish, okay? Mommy. Okay. I know. I get confused sometimes, between the English and the Spanish and all this wonderful salads. I'm turning this guy over like that. Bringing this back because I want to do the chicken last. So now what I want to do to this, so I want to go ahead and add my potatoes, and I'm using 3 potatoes, my wonderful carrots. Done with that. I'm going to use the rest of my other fennel because I love fennel and fennel loves me. And then what I want to do with this is I want to add my tomatoes are going to go right in here. So far so good, guys. My green onions are going to go right in there. My peppers are going to go in here. Super easy transaction. Super easy transaction. Because the chicken is going to lay on top. And when the chicken cooks, all those juices are going to be coming into all this deliciousness. In your house, it's going to smell like nobody's business. Oh my God, it's delicious. You guys got to try this. Okay, so now I want to bring my onions right in here like so. Very easy transaction. And then what I'm going to do is you're going to get your hands dirty. I am going to get my pomfrons, the rest of my pomfrons. Let me turn this over because I want to grab my pomfrons because I want to utilize my little pomfrons, guys. I do. I think one thing about fennel, it's very healthy for the heart. And it's wonderful for diabetics. And my husband is a type 2 diabetic. And he is no longer on medication because of the way we eat. And you can lower, I'm not a doctor, please. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm just telling you what you can use to help yourself. And I'm telling you, fennel, it's wonderful for you. It's very healthy for you. It helps you to sleep. Come on. And I'm going to cook it, like I said, I'm going to cook it right after this. So I'm just going to put it right over to that. Just put it just over like that. Just like that. Right in there. Then I'm going to take a good, the mixture that we used, with all the herbs. Okay. All in there like so, like that. Yes. I haven't done anything yet with the lemons. Now I'm going to use our hands. Yes, we're going to get in here and we are going to get that olive oil. And we are going to put them all in here. That's why we need a good 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I want to coat all of these beautiful guys together. And this is, like I said, this is a one baked dish. And it's wonderful and it's delicious. And not only that, it's healthy. And the fennel with all of these guys hanging all out and the olive oil. And invest in some good olive oil, guys. Invest in some good olive oil. It doesn't have to be super, soupy on the bottom because, the chicken is going to be on top. And then what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and get some of my lemons. And now I'm going to bring in my lemons. And now I'm going to mix again. Get some lemons on the bottom there because it'll get the juice. Okay, and then what you have, and I'm going to show you, let me just wipe my hands really quick. What you have is this. Okay, so far so good. Awesome. All right, so then now what I want to do is I want to bring my chicken over here. Now that I got all my vegetables out of the way. And now I have this beautiful pieces of chicken that I'm just going to lay right on my board just like that. And this is an entire chicken, because what we do with leftover chicken, we make sandwiches, we make salads, and you know, and also cooked chicken freezes. Yes, you can cook, you can freeze chicken, and that's what I do. Then now what I want to do over here is that I have this beautiful chickens like so. I'm going to still use this because this is going to go in the wash right after this. And then what I want to do now is I want to come over here and I really want to get my chickens on my board really, really coated. Yes, I do. I want all of these babies to be very well coated. So with one hand, I'm just going to make sure, I'm going to turn it around, make sure it's all nice and coated. Just with one hand, guys. I still have the other hand. The other hand is clean. And now I have a nice olive oil place over here. Now with this other one, is that I want to come over here and I want to let it rain all this deliciousness. All this deliciousness right in my chicken. And I want to continue to pour it on there. I'm going to turn my chicken over because I want to get the other side as well. You see that what I'm doing? Very easy transaction. Everybody can do this. Everybody's following me. This is such a wonderful dish. This is an Argentinian dish, family recipe from my grandma. And you know, they all love the lemons, you know, and we have lemon, I remember my grandfather having a lemon tree. And now what I want to do with this wonderful chicken is that I'm just going to put it right on top. Right on top. Make some move the little things kind of on the sides, and you should be able to get yourself a nice big chicken with a nice pan. Make sure that your pan will fit your bacon dish. That's what I'm talking about, the bacon dish. Okay, so now I have my rag that I'm going to use right here. I'm going to turn this over again because again I'm going to wash all of this, guys, so I'm not worried about it. And then what I want to do is I want to bring this back up like so, and then I am going to take my olive oil one more time and I'm just going to drizzle it over my entire chicken. Oh yes, baby. And all of them are going to start cooking together, and the aromas, oh my God, the aromas. And then what you want to do now is you want to get your oven. I'm going to put this at 400. And I'm going to start it. I'm going to cover this. Cover it. And then what I'm going to do is with the brush, is I'm going to brush this side because I don't want my chicken to get stuck to this, okay? So what I do is I always kind of measure where I'm going to have it. And then what I do is, if I still have some olive oil, let me get that in a little bowl over here. I just need a little bit. And I just want to brush it. Brush it so nothing sticks. So my oven is at 400 degrees, guys. Alrighty, now we're going to seal this really, really, really well. Make sure it's got a really good seal, okay? You're going to put this at 400 degrees for a good 45 minutes. Don't you lift it, don't you pick it up, because as the chicken cooks, and what I would do is I would put it in the middle of the oven, put it in the middle rack of the oven at 400 degrees, put this in there for 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes is over, you should have all these juices coming all out. My oven, it takes an hour. To some people, it might take a little longer. And then after your 45 minutes, you're going to take this out. And you're going to put it back in for 15, 20 minutes until all of this is just going to be making all the beautiful color. And then you guys, when you take it out, you would have this beautifulness. Let me bring it to you if I can. Oh my goodness. This is your wonderful baked chicken with vegetables. Look how healthy and beautiful this is. I want to thank you for joining me today in this wonderful prep, Monday prep. And when you take it out, you are going to be amazed and your family is going to love it. Hi, I want to thank my wonderful sponsors, Cola Harris with FARMASI. I want to thank Stephen Billy with Billy Fishing and Charters. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, he's the guy because he catches the fish. I also want to thank Dario Rodriguez with Life and Food Superstores. And I also want to thank Soul Angel. And I want to thank you guys. Oh, this is a very big bacon dish because this is what we're having. This is what's for dinner, and I can start it now and then later I can just reheat it because you know when you're really busy that's what you need to do, or you can put it an hour before you are to get off work if you're working from home. So I hope that this really helped you. I want to thank you so much for joining me on my beautiful cucina. Oh, I love every single one of you. Ciao, ciao, bellies. Ciao, ciao.